The Further Teachings of Lao Tzu, 110. Lao Tzu said, "Benevolence is something people admire. Duty is something that people esteem. When those whom people admire and esteem lose their lives and their countries, it is because they did not comprehend the times. So those who know benevolence and duty but do not know strategy appropriate to the time do not attain the way." The 5 lords of high antiquity valued virtue. The 3 august chieftains of mid-antiquity practiced justice. The 5 hegemons of late antiquity employed power. Now to take the way of the lords and to try to apply it to a time of hegemons would not be the way. Therefore, good and bad are the same in the sense that repudiation and praise depend on conventional trends. Actions are equal in the sense that opposition and harmony depend on the time. When you know what nature does and know how people act, then you have the means to get through the world. If you know nature but do not know people, then you have no way to interact with society. If you know people but do not know nature, you have no means to travel along the way. If you direct your intent straight at what is comfortable, then the adamant and powerful will rob you. If you use your body to work for things, then yin and yang will devour you. People who have attained the way change outwardly but do not change inwardly. Outward change is the means by which they know other people. Inwardly not changing is the means by which they preserve themselves. Therefore, if you have stable inner control while able to contract and expand outwardly, moving along with things, then you can avoid failure in all your undertakings. What is esteemed on the way is the capacity to change. If you keep to a single discipline and carry out a single activity, even if you attain fulfillment thereby, that is still no different from blocking the great way by clinging to a small preference. The way is silent because it is empty. It does not involve acting on others and does not involve acting on oneself. Therefore, when you follow the way in undertaking something, it is not the doing of the way, it is the application of the way. What is enclosed by heaven and earth, illumined by sun and moon, warmed by yin and yang, moistened by rain and dew, and supported by the way and virtue, is all the same one harmony. Therefore, those who can bear heaven can walk on the earth. Those who mirror absolute purity see great clarity. Those who establish great peace live in a vast abode. Those who can roam in the deepest darkness have the same light as the sun and moon, having no form and yet producing forms. Therefore, real people rest their hopes on the basis of awareness and make their abode at the beginning of things. They look into the deepest darkness and listen to the silence. In the midst of the deepest darkness alone they find light. In the midst of utter silence alone they find illumination. Their use of them is not using. Only after not using are they able to use them. Their knowledge of them is not knowing. Only after not knowing are they able to know them. The way is what beings follow. Virtue is what life supports. Humaneness is a proof of accumulated charity. Justice is what is close to the heart and accords with what is appropriate for the community. When the way disappears, virtues arise. When virtue declines, humaneness and justice come into being. Therefore, people of high antiquity went by the way and not virtue. People of mid-antiquity kept virtue but not sentiment. People of later times were cautious and careful lest they lose humaneness and justice. So it is that without justice, superior people have no way to live. If they lose justice, they lose that whereby they are living. Without profit, small people have no way to make a living. If they lose profit, they lose their livelihood. Therefore, superior people fear the loss of justice, while small people fear the loss of profit. Observe what they fear, and you can see the difference between what is calamitous and what is fortunate for them.